Hello, hello. Let's fly like a butterfly. So today we are going to do a tarot card reading from our Smith-Waite tarot deck. Okay. And then I am going to pull one card from our Mystic Mondays tarot deck. I'll wait to pull those cards out. But let's go ahead and start shuffling. I hope you are having a good day, a good year, a good month, a good minute, a good second, millisecond. Okay. If you've been watching me for a little while, you know how I like to intricately shuffle. Just think it helps with getting the message out. I try not to spend too much time doing this. I try. Okay. Two more piles. All right. And let's shuffle. Oh, nice. So we got a few cards that came out actually. We have the King of Pentacles. Have the King of Pentacles upright, and then we have the King of Swords in reverse. My money in my mind. My money in my mind. My money's good. My thoughts are upside down. There is not so much your thoughts are upside down, but there is a feeling of you are stable, especially during these times where there are fluctuations happening for a lot of people. This is a good place to be in, to be at the King of Pentacles. And the reason why this is a good place to be in is because not only when you are in such a king or queen status, just knowing you are able to foresee any types of peaks or troughs and take advantage of it. That's how you reach this. This is more of a feeling, more of a foresight. And kings and queens are, you're put in that position because of the people around you. They feel you're capable, they feel you know what you're doing. And this is a good space to be in because you know how to maintain this stability, especially financially, but also you. It's not just about the pentacle, it's about who you are. And who you are is, for the lack of accepted by a majority of the people. That's how you get this king status. Now, the King of Swords being in reverse feels a little bit like, are you sure? Are you 100% sure with who you are? This feels a little bit like uncertainty, maybe questioning your abilities, maybe questioning just some of your actions, questioning something. There's questions. There's thoughts. Swords, mercurial energy. There's thoughts. There's questions. And this, I don't feel it's bad. I think it's more so a growth spurt. You are moving into a space where you are starting to think through your actions, because those you see are reflective of who you are. And if you are in a just period, these are both king cards. When you think through your actions and you know they affect how you're seen, how you're perceived, and essentially determine who you are, that's going to cause you to do things differently. That's why I feel like it's a growth spurt. You're now thinking, oh, I can move on from this type of behavior pattern. I can move on from this type of thinking pattern or this thinking pattern that affects my behavior. There's something that's changing. And even with this, as you can see, there's a butterfly at the top of this throne here. That's change. So there's some type of questioning thoughts that's going to bring about change. I do think that this is causing a teeter-totter within yourself because they're both kings, but one is upright and the other is in reverse. I do think this is starting to cause some type of seesaw action. And you don't like that. But that's growing pains to me. The questions and the thoughts and the feelings are because you are moving into a new you. You are a butterfly was once a caterpillar. So there is a shell, a cocoon you have to shed, get out of, and move forward into not even a new version. It's just, this is a part of who I am. When I look at this photo, there's a lot of greenery around this king. And if you know anything about plants and flowers, you do have your perennials and you have your annuals. Well, your perennials come back every year. Your annuals, they sprout that year and they die. So there's going to be some things about you. Again, you know who you are, but there's going to be some things that die off. And those things are what you're thinking about, what you're questioning, what you're no longer doing, or you are starting to do because you know that's going to reflect me. And you feel no ways about instilling one behavior or thought pattern over the other because, again, you know who you are. This is more so fitting into you. Okay. Let's see. Let's pull these two. So this one came sideways. I'm just going to simply flip it this way. Nice. Yeah, the Empress. Yeah, there's no question about the foundation of you. There's questions about certain aspects and parts of you, but you don't have to have anyone tell you this is who you are. You don't have to follow people. You don't have to feel insecure about you because you are certain of who you are. It's just little tweaks. It's almost like tweaks, little tweaks here and there. That's what this Empress card gives. And funny that I said, excuse the noise in the background, but funny that I said that you are in the seesaw action because you're trying to, there's a feeling of, oh, okay, there's change happening, there's growing pains with this Venus here. You're trying to balance yourself while going through this growth. You probably are. You are trying to balance how you feel. And more so probably just your actions and your emotions because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't bring about possibly just this. I was thinking nostalgia, but I don't want to say nostalgia. It's comfort. There's a comfort level of how you were and growing pains bring you out of that. And so this feeling of growing and progressing is good. That's why you're doing it. That's why you're questioning it. That's why you're just implementing that in your life, but it's still not an easy process. Page of Wands. So, use the Page of Wands can talk about communication. A page sometimes is like, I think of pages as like scrolls or megaphones, like an announcement. This page of wands here, even just how the person looks, like they're standing tall and they're like, I'm putting this wand down because I have something to say. I feel like this page of wands is less about an outward announcement and more so about an inward ambition, a movement within. That's why I feel like this is growing pains. It's kind of like when someone is doing all the exercises and they're about to lose weight or they're losing weight and there's changes going on with somebody and they don't realize like, oh, I'm really losing weight, or my face is clearing up, or oh wow, I didn't know my vitals are doing so much better. I don't know, my cholesterol's down, my blood pressure's down. Things like that where you may not notice it in the midst of it until someone's like, "Oh my gosh, you look different," or "You just seem so much healthier, you're not as pale as you used to be, or you're moving better." Something. This is what this feels like, a inward announcement, and you notice the changes. You don't need somebody else to tell you. You're noticing them. That's why you are in this state of questioning, because you are already, oh, yeah, I need to do this. I no longer want to do that. So this page of wands, it's like, oh, wow, this is changing. I'm noticing I'm doing that different. It's an inward movement. It's an inward dialogue. That's what it is. I would say it's more of an inward dialogue. But the actions still come with that dialogue. It's not like, again, you don't need someone to tell you, oh, you used to, just for example, used to always eat fried chicken wings and now you're eating grilled. Something like that, where you're already knowing I'm implementing this change because it's starting from within in the first place. You're going to see the progress though, because it's uncomfortable. You feel it. So you're going to see the progress. You're going to know what's happening. And you don't need anybody else to tell you. You don't need anybody else to tell you anyway. With this King of Pentacles, you know you. Another king. You have 3 kings. There's one more left. King of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. King of Cups sits so comfortably in their emotions. They are like, yeah, this is it. King of Cups in reverse is, this is not fun. This is not fun. I don't like this. Of course you don't. It's growth. It's not going to be fun at all. So yeah, the King of Cups it's not comfortable. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of feelings. And you are really trying to, with these 3 kings, the Empress and the Page, you are trying to really sit in this growth. Like there's a feeling of trying to maintain without breaking the foundation. I want to put more brick or more concrete here. But you got to be very careful with how you do that, right? That's why I feel like it's uncomfortable. Another page, a page of swords. Once again, there is this feeling going with the King of Swords here, that inner dialogue. There's an inner dialogue. There's movement. There's an announcement within. Like there's this inner dialogue. You're going to feel this movement. You're going to, because you are thinking the thoughts and you are doing the actions. You're not being forced to. You simply are just doing it because that's you. You are noticing yourself and saying, these are the things that I now want to incorporate in my life. This is who I want to be. This is how I want to be going forward. So this Page of Swords is more so about this inner dialogue, like really, but it's the thought of, I'm going to do this. I'm no longer going to, I said I'm going to do this, and I am. I don't need to announce it outwardly. Now, we have here I want to say 8. We have the 7 of Cups in reverse. The 7 of Cups just upright is about making a decision, a choice, and not wanting to make the bad choice. In one of these cups, there's a serpent. There's, I want to say, fortune. You struck gold. I'll say it like that. There's a bunch of different options. It really does depend on you. And also how your outlook on life. Let's just say the things that you're doing may not necessarily turn out the way that you expected. You don't feel how you thought you would. That's what this card feels like. It's more so you're going to make some changes. You're going to do some things that may rub you or others the wrong way. And it's not going to make you feel good. It's not going to necessarily give you that feeling of, oh, I've really progressed. And that's something you are going to have to reckon with. I do think that that's another reason why you are in this seesaw type of energy. Because what if I do something or change into somebody that I don't like, or the people around me don't like, my family doesn't like? These growing pains could, at the time, they're hurting me, but in the long run, they can hurt me and insert people important to you. So it's a gamble to you. And I think that's why you are having these inward thoughts. It's a lot of dialogue, but you're still going to do it, because I really do feel with this first card of King of Pentacles coming out, you're like, but I know I need to make these changes. I know there's some things that I need to do. And for certain, you could hit that jackpot cup and it will be better. It may be things that you and people around you have said, you need to probably work on this. But there will be some things that as you work on one thing and you're progressing, you'll say, well, maybe I could do this or maybe I could do that. And it might not, you could change one thing and that change leads to another change, that people who said, well, you need to work on this and change this, but that other change, that tag along change, they didn't like that. Where do you go from there? Now it's more uncomfortable. Now you have to start getting into these uncomfortable situations and conversations with people about who you are and how this change is just going to be. So it's going to be uncomfortable overall. And I think that's the reason why you're trying to maintain this groundedness. You're going from one side to the other. That seesaw is to help you. It's like you're trying to maintain your sanity. And I absolutely understand, because you have cups, you have swords, you have wands. There's a feeling of, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm thinking about it, but I still need to be sure that I'm okay, that I'm good. Overall, that I'm good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you have everything. Cups, pentacles, wands, swords. Yep. What card just came? The Tower in reverse. Yeah, you are really trying to focus on not breaking the foundation and ruining everything up top, or building on the foundation and everything up top just falls completely. It's I don't want to make the wrong decisions. And that's understandable. It's really about your outlook. If you build on top of something and that falls apart, was it really meant for you in the first place? Did you really want something that was shaky? Even if it stood tall, it was shaky. It was flimsy. Did you really want that? Do you want that? I'll say that. That's a question that I feel like you need to ask. Do you want that? Okay. If this reading resonated with you, I'm glad it did. If it didn't, release it back into the universe for those who it did. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.